Good morning and welcome to Yoga Life. My name's Felicity. I'll be guiding you through a 60-minute practice, flow practice this morning. As you come to sit on your mat, find a comfortable sitting position, softening shoulders away from ears, relaxing neck, softly closing eyes. Allowing sit bones and the parts of your body meeting your mat to rest into the support beneath you. Really connecting into earth for a moment. And gently relaxing your jaw. Softening the space between your eyebrows. And taking your attention to your breath. Noticing the natural qualities of your breath this morning. Noticing the energy already present in your body. Maybe you're already feeling really energized. Maybe you're feeling a little tired this morning. Noticing how you've arrived and welcoming your whole self exactly as you are into your practice today. And starting to take your left hand over heart, right hand down towards lower belly. As you rest your hands into your body, rest front of heart and belly back into your hands. Notice the movement of your breath now, down throat, through heart space, down towards your belly. And then following breath all the way back out as you passively empty each breath. Taking 2 more breaths, expanding into torso, gently lengthening out your breath. Lengthening both the in-breath and the out-breath. 1 more in your own time. And as you sit attuned to your breath and to how you've arrived today, maybe bringing to mind your own intention for your practice this morning. As you set yourself an intention, it could be 1 word or a phrase. Start to slowly bring your right hand up over left, both hands resting over heart. With a gentle bow of head to heart, seal your intention for your practice. And gently begin to lift top of head back towards the sky. Start to take your hands out over your shoulders, arms out towards your fingertips, and then bring your hands back across the back of your neck, shoulders, back of body, down along your legs towards your toes, and then bringing those fingers back up along legs, back towards front of body, over face, and up towards the sky. Reach your fingers up, maybe look up, and then breath out, palms meet, exhaling. If you're sitting on a block, you might choose to stay there or come off that block. With hands on knees, start to take your shoulders over towards the right, to the front, to the left, and then back again. Start to circle shoulders, maybe keeping your eyes closed as you move and letting your head and neck become involved in that movement. Keeping both sit bones grounded as you rotate. When you're ready, start to take a pause, maybe in a position of ease or stretch. And then begin to circle back the opposite way, circling shoulders left, forwards, right, and then back. circling with awareness of sensation as you move, and a curiosity to look inwards to what is there. Taking one more circle in this direction. And then bringing your chest all the way back up to center. Take another in-breath, reach fingers up towards the sky, maybe looking up. As you exhale, hands come through heart center, and then hands are going to come behind, feet are going to come out in front. So we're taking your hand at least one hand width behind your pelvis. From here, start to press into your fingers and palms, lift your chest upwards. As you exhale, bend your elbows and curl your spine. Inhale, press into fingers, stretch arms, lift chest. Exhale, bend elbows, curl spine. 3 more with your in-breath, lift heart up. And with your out-breath, curl. Use the full length of your breath to complete each movement. Maybe each time lifting a little higher on sit bones and opening through front of chest. One more, inhale to lift. Exhale, curl and round. This time as you inhale, come to more of a neutral spine position. Keep your feet hip width apart, maybe heels underneath knees. That hand still back on your mat. And then beginning to lift your hips up just a little as you breathe out, lower down. Breath in, hips lift. Breath out, lower down. Once again, lifting hips and lowering. Once more, lift and lower. Then release your hands, step your feet forwards a little, reach your fingers all the way up towards the sky. Palms meet and come back towards your shins. As you exhale, curl through your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, lift heart, lift to top of sit bones. Continue another 4 with your own breath. Continue to move with ease, opening up through spine. Next breath in, coming back to a neutral spine position, taking hands back behind your hips, heels in underneath your knees. With your next breath in, start to lift your hips up and away. Maybe you lift into your reverse tabletop, hips a little higher. Holding for one more breath in. As you breathe out, lower hips and hover. And then inhale, hips come up. Breath out, lower hips and hover. Inhale, rise. Twice, small hips hover. And then lift, hover, and lift. With your next breath out, bring your hips all the way down. Bring your fingers forwards again. Maybe step those feet back out. Reach fingers to sky. Exhale, hands through heart center. Going to come to your boat shape, toes lift, fingers stretch out, maybe heels lift out and away. Sitting up onto those sit bones. And then with your next breath out, you might start to reach your right heel away, stretching your right leg and then back in, and then switching legs. Each time you breathe out, extending one leg and then the other. And do one more time until you're feeling even. And then start to extend both heels away, both shoulders, lower back down towards the mat. Hovering in your low boat shape. I'm going to come back up into your boat shape with an in-breath, rise up. With an out-breath, lower, low boat. Twice more in-breath, lift. Out-breath, lower. In to lift. Out and lower. Bring your palms to the mat. Lower your shoulders to the mat. Keep your feet lifted if you can. And then both feet are going to rise up towards the sky. You might keep both feet extended towards the ceiling or bend in your left knee to your chest. With your next breath out, lower right heel only forwards and away until your right heel hovers. And then lifting your right foot back up towards the sky. 3 more. Use your breath out to lower right foot forwards and away. In breath, rise up. Twice more. See if you can keep your lower belly drawing in and up. So your lower back stays connected to the earth with each movement. You're switching to the left leg now with your breath out, lowering left foot forwards, and then lifting left foot to sky. Use your breath out to lower. In breath, lift. Got 2 more. Last one. Both feet elongate up towards the sky. Start to press your toes up towards the sky as well. And then circling through your ankles in one direction. And then circling back the opposite way. Hugging both knees in towards your chest now. Give your knees a little circle. And then circle back the other way. Hugging knees in towards your chest as you're feeling even, and then start to lift the back of your head up, chin or nose come towards your knees. And as you curl in, get a little rounder through the back of your shoulders. And starting to move, rocking and rolling back and forwards along spine. Rolling a few times and then coming all the way over onto hands and knees. Find your tabletop shape as you come all the way up. As you arrive in your tabletop, fingers spread, knees under hips, tailbone drawing back, top of head drawing forwards, lower belly lifting in and up. And starting to press into those fingertips, lifting your wrists up and away from the mat so that your fingers are connecting, not your palms. If you bring your shoulders forwards over fingertips a little more, you might find a little more intensity in that movement, or maybe shoulders come back to make it less intense. With your next breath out, lowering palms of hands back to earth. As you breathe in, start to lift your wrists up. Exhale, lowering palms, maybe one at a time or both together. Inhale, lift. Once more, exhale, lowering. Inhale, lifting. And exhale, lowering palms to mat. Bring your attention back to your feet, tops of feet pressing into the mat. As you exhale, curl through your spine. Stay in this position and then press down through tops of feet to hover your knees up and away from the mat. And continue to breathe as you hover your knees and hold here. Curling in and up through lower belly. With your next breath out, knees come to mat. As you inhale, find your cow shape. Head lifts, tailbone lifts. Exhale in one movement, curl spine, lift knees, rise up. And then lowering knees down as you inhale, head comes forwards. Twice more, exhale, curl spine, lift knees. And then moving back the opposite way, lift head. Last one. And then start to tuck your toes under. We're coming back to your downward facing dog shape, tailbone lifting high and away. Taking notice in stillness, how you've arrived in your downward facing dog this morning. And then gently, mindfully starting to move maybe one leg at a time into an extended position. Maybe your head and neck have a little movement. Maybe it feels really nourishing to let your hips sway side to side. Whatever movement you've intuitively chosen to take, Making yourself even and then coming back to stillness. So you arrive back in stillness, press again into those fingertips, taking some of the weight out of your wrists. And bending knees, looking forward, start to step your feet towards the front of your mat, to the back of your wrists. Find your forward fold. Top of head, lengthening towards earth. Maybe give it a little yes and no movement as it descends. Feeling into your feet, into your toes. With feet firmly planted, we're going to lift halfway up with an in-breath. Support your fingers. Use your out-breath to fold. Twice more, use your in-breath to come halfway up. Out-breath and fold. Last one. And fold. Release your fingers down towards the earth. Strong press into both feet. With your next in-breath, unravel your spine vertebrae by vertebrae, fingers floating downwards. And as you arrive, shoulders roll up, back and down. Both feet planted, start to turn your palms forwards, spreading across your chin and chest. With your next in-breath, start to reach fingers up above head. As you exhale, hands come through heart center and all the way down. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, hands come to mat, stepping back into a plank pose, lower belly lifting in and up. Holding here for a moment, start to lift your right heel up, lengthen it away. And then start to lower your right foot and left heel rises, lengthening away. So left leg lifted. Both feet come to earth and then slowly lower your knees, chest down towards the mat. With an in-breath, find a baby cobra, lengthening through front of ribs. Exhale, forehead lands, and then making your way back to downward facing dog. As you breathe out, tailbone lifts high and away. With your next breath in, start to lift your right heel up high and away, three-legged dog. As you exhale, curl your right knee to nose and bring your right foot all the way through in between your fingertips. And the lower back knee to earth as you arrive. Inhale, reach fingers up towards the sky. As you exhale, turn your palms out and bring your hands down around the outside, interlacing fingers behind your back. Lifting up through heart space, through chin, squeezing back through those shoulder blades. And you might stay nice and high in your lunge, or if you feel ready, you might start to bend a little more into your front knee so your hips move towards the front of the room a little more. That's it. With your next in-breath, start to press back down through your front heel, hips lift back over your knee, release fingers, and then reach all the way on up. Exhale, hands to heart. Going to start to bring your left fingers down to the earth, right fingers lift, find your twisted shape. Take a moment here to reach up and back through fingers. And then exhale, taking fingers down towards the earth, tucking back toes under, lift your back knee up, stay for a moment here as you lift your back knee, and then maybe reaching both fingers forwards or one hand at a time. Lengthen forwards, reaching out. Next in-breath, rise on up, find your high lunge. Exhale, turn palms out, interlacing fingers behind back, lifting through heart space. Lifting chin towards your chest. Maybe you find a little more bend into that front knee. Then releasing fingers, reach up towards the sky. Exhale, open up, find your warrior two stance. With your next breath out, flipping palm, reaching back up and over. In breath, return to warrior two. Twice more, exhale, reach up and back. In breath, return. Last one. Return to warrior two. Bring hands towards your heart. We're going to turn both feet out towards the sides and then bend into your back knee. So your back knee will bend into your Skandasana shape. That's it. So we might stay high to begin, or if you're already feeling quite open, you might sink hips a little lower. From here, we're going to come to Skandasana towards the front of the room. So you might keep your hips low as you bend into your front leg, your right knee. That's it. You've got it. Bringing fingers back to the mat. So if you've stayed high, you might turn your feet before fingers come down. If you've come low, fingers might come down and then turning feet. I'm going to step all the way back into a three-legged dog. So start to take your right foot all the way up and back. And then bending your right heel towards your buttocks, lifting right knee up towards the sky, opening through right hip. From here, start to stretch back out through your right leg, and then taking your right knee forwards towards the outside of your right wrist. Landing back knee down, taking fingers a little wider than your shoulders as your foot comes a little out towards the edge of your mat, turning outside toes out, coming to a little bit of a rocking from side to side, feeling into your hip joints, muscles around the buttocks, pelvis, maybe a little twisting comes into your movement, maybe a little circling. And then coming back to stillness in your lizard shape, start to bring your right hand to your right knee and pressing into knee, turning your chest towards the side of the room. You might choose to stay here, hand pressing into knee, or maybe stretch your fingers back towards the back of the room. And then sweeping fingers all the way back. They might come down to the inside of your foot, lifting, tucking back toes under, lifting back knee up, holding in your lizard shape for a moment with back knee lifted. Back heel lengthens away from you as top of head lengthens forwards. And then getting strong through those legs, maybe lifting up through your left fingers. Maybe bringing those down and then lifting forwards and up through right fingers. Maybe both hands lift just a little away from the mat and then bringing both hands down, stepping back once again to your three-legged dog, lifting right heel high, and then right heel lands, roll your shoulders forwards, find your plank pose. As you exhale, lower towards the mat, all the way down. Inhale, find your back bend, a baby cobra or something stronger if you wish, and then move on back to your downward facing dog shape. So you breathe out, lift hips high and away. Taking another slow, steady breath in, grounding through hands and feet. With your next in-breath, lifting left heel high and away, three-legged dog. Exhaling, rounding knee towards nose, planting your left foot in between your fingertips at the front of the mat. Lowering back knee to earth, and then inhale, rising on up, reach fingers up towards the sky. Find a lift, and then with your next breath out, palms turn down, interlacing fingers the opposite way, lifting up through heart space as you squeeze shoulder blades together. And you might stay here, hips above back knee, or you might bend into your front knee a little more as your heart stays lifted and shoulder blades squeeze back. And pressing down into front heel, start to release your fingers as you lift back up, reach towards the sky. Hands come through heart center, and then right hand comes to earth as left fingers lift, twisting towards the side. Stretching up and back with those top fingers, and then with your next in-breath, let your fingers come back towards the earth. Start to tuck your back toes under, lift through back knee. Get long here, heel goes back, top of head comes forwards. Maybe both fingers reach forwards as you pause for a moment, reaching forwards. And then inhale to rise on up. Exhale, turning palms out, bring your hands back behind you. Pressing down through your feet, through your knuckles, heart lifts. Holding for a moment, noticing breath moving through front of body. Your next breath out, releasing fingers, reach up towards the sky. And then exhale, opening up, find your warrior two shape. Flipping front palm over, exhale, reach up and back. Inhale, return to your warrior two. Twice more with your breath out, reverse. With your in-breath, return to warrior two. Last one. Hands come together in front of heart. Start to shift your feet so that they point 45 degrees out. And then begin to bend into your back knee. So this time your right knee bends first. You might stay high, you might come low. And wherever you are, see if you can keep your hips low or at that same height as you bend into your front leg, transitioning body weight back towards the front of the room. And if you've come low, your fingers might come low first as you transition. If you've stayed high, feet might come back first, then fingers to mat. Start to bring your left foot all the way back and up. Find your three-legged dog. Bending into your left knee, open it up towards the sky. And stretching back out through left leg, taking your left knee towards the outside of your left elbow, left foot lands outside your wrist, back knee comes to the mat. Maybe your hands come a little wider as you start to rock in your lizard shape. You might have just small movements. You might feel ready to come to something a little bigger in your movement, depending on the sensations you notice. And that movement could come to a twisting kind of shape or a circular kind of movement, or you could just stay with the rocking. Bringing your right hand back underneath your shoulder, left hand comes towards your thigh. Start to twist your chest towards the side of the room. With your chest lifted, top shoulder lifted, maybe you reach your top fingers towards the back of the room. Taking one more breath in as you breathe out, start to bring your fingers forwards towards the inside of your front foot, tucking back toes under, lifting through back knee, getting really strong in your setup through legs, maybe lifting your left fingers away from the earth, maybe right fingers. Maybe you keep alternating one hand and then the other, maybe both fingers reach forwards. And then hands come towards the earth, pressing hands down, lift back, heel all the way up, three-legged dog. And then lowering left foot back to mat, come to your plank pose, roll shoulders forwards, exhale, lower. Inhale, find your back bend. And then exhale, move back to downward facing dog. Pausing here in your downward facing dog shape, connecting your body and breath to each other, connecting body and breath to earth, maybe sensing a rising of energy from earth into body as you breathe in. As you breathe out, a discharge of energy down into earth. Bending both knees, start to look towards the front of your mat and then stepping your feet forwards towards the backs of your wrists. As you arrive, support fingers and inhale halfway up. Exhale and full. Inhale, rising up, reaching fingers up towards the sky. Palms meet, exhale, hands to heart. Opening palms up, take a moment in your mountain pose Tadasana to ground back through feet. Grounding specifically through your right foot now, bringing hands back to heart. You're going to start to lift your left heel up, left toes up, left knee up. That's it. And start to bend into your grounded leg. That's it. Sweep your front leg all the way back. Find your high lunge shape. That's it. Inhale, fingers reach to sky. Palms open. Exhale, interlace fingers behind, back. Lift heart space up. Option to bend a little more into that front knee. And then releasing fingers, reaching back up. Open and land, find warrior two. Just twice this time, flipping front palm. Exhale, reach up and back. Inhale, return to warrior two. Once more, use your breath. And return. Palms come to meet, turning feet out towards the side, finding Skandasana as you bend your back knee. Maybe your front toes lift as your hips sink. We're going to come towards the front of the room now, hips staying low as you transition back towards the front, Skandasana. As you transition now, we're going to come back to face the front, fingers coming down to earth, landing through hands, lifting front foot, and then rise it on up. Three-legged dog, bend your right heel towards buttocks, right knee lifts. And stretch back out through that right leg. Start to take your foot outside your front wrist, outside your right wrist, that's the one. Lowering back knee down. We're going to come straight to our twist, taking right hand to right thigh, opening chest towards side of room. You might come onto the outside blade of your foot now, opening up a little more through those hips, and then maybe stretching your fingers towards the back of the room as you lift your heart space up. Maybe soften a little more through your top shoulder, through soft palate of mouth. And then begin to unravel from your twist, bringing hands down towards the front, lifting up through back knee. So you press firmly down into front heel now, front toes. Pressing down into back foot, fingers reach all the way out in front, maybe one hand at a time or both together. Get really long through here and then hands come back down. Start to lift your right foot up, find your three-legged dog. You might choose to come forwards into your plank pose with your right heel lifted and then lower to the mat. And then move through your flow, finding your back bend. With a breath out, we meet in downward facing dog. Taking a slow, steady breath in. And let it go all the way out. Bending both knees, look towards the front of your mat. Start to step your heels forwards to the backs of your wrists. Support fingers, inhale, half lift. Breath out and full. Sweeping fingers out and up, reach up towards the sky as you lift, palms meet. Exhale, hands to heart. Releasing arms just for a moment, turning palms open as feet ground into earth. With that connection, more strongly a little now through your left foot, bringing palms back together. Start to lift your right heel, right toes, right knee. As you balance, take a gentle bend into your grounded leg and then sweeping your front foot all the way back, find your high lunge. With an in-breath, reach fingers to sky. Out breath, palms turn, interlacing fingers the opposite way behind your back, lifting heart space as knuckles draw down towards it. Option to stay where you are or maybe a little stronger bend into that front knee, opening a little more strongly through your back hip. And then releasing fingers, press down through feet, reach up. Exhale, find your warrior two shape. Hold for an in-breath and then flipping front palm as you exhale, reverse. And then inhale, return. Once more. Hands meet in front of heart, toes turn out towards the sides. Find your Skandasana lunge as you bend into your back leg. Keeping hips where they are in terms of height, start to transition so that your front leg now bends, back leg stretches, that's it. And from wherever you are, transitioning to bring your hands down to the mat, feet face the front of the room again, and then stepping your front foot all the way back, find three-legged dog. Bending into your left knee, left heel comes towards buttocks. You can stretch up a little higher through that bent knee. Next breath in, stretch back out through your left leg, and then bringing your left foot to the outside of your left wrist as you find your lizard shape. Bringing your back knee to the mat, bringing your left hand to left thigh, maybe coming to outside edge of foot as you twist your chest towards the side of the room. You might stretch your top fingers back behind you. Open and soften your top shoulder back in space. Let your mouth and jaw relax. Taking one more breath here. And then releasing fingers, coming out of your twisted shape, tucking back toes under, lifting up through back knee. Strong press through those feet, maybe lifting one hand at a time, maybe stretching both hands out in front. Taking another breath in, stretching out, and then exhale, hands come down, pressing into earth. Reach your left foot up and back, and then you might transition into your plank pose with one foot lifted and then lower to the mat. With both feet grounded, find your back bend. Make your way back to downward facing dog. Settling here for a moment, coming back to your breath awareness. Your awareness of sensation in the shape. And gently bending both knees, looking forward, step or float your feet towards the backs of your wrists. As you arrive, inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold forward. In breath, reaching fingers up towards the sky, lifting up. Out breath, hands to heart. Again, ground down through your right foot. Start to lift your left heel up, left knee up. Bend into your grounded leg, and then this time bring the outside of your ankle to the top of your right thigh. That's it. You might bend a little more into that grounded leg. Maybe a little more. Maybe elbows come towards your shin. I'm going to come all the way up from here, starting to lift your shoulders back up, lift your knee back up, reach your arms back up, and then exhale, landing down. And come straight to the other side. Take an in-breath, reach up. Out breath, fingers come back to heart, lifting up through right heel this time, right toes. And then exhale, bending into standing leg and taking your ankle to top of just above your knee. The more you bend into that leg, the more supported your ankle might become as you bend, coming down. That's it. Next breath in, we're going to come all the way back up, start to lift chest, unravel legs, reach up. Foot comes down, hands come down, lowering. In breath, fingers reach to sky. Out breath, hands to heart. Start to lift your left foot up, left knee up. Bend into that front leg. We're going to come into that balance once again, sinking elbows towards your front shin. That's it, you've got it. In-breath coming up, this time keeping your hands at heart. Knee comes forwards and then send it back, find your high lunge. You've got it. In-breath, fingers reach to sky, open arms up, interlace fingers behind back, lifting heart up. You might find a little bit stronger bend in front knee. You might start to hinge forwards about 45 degrees. If you feel you've got more space, maybe hinging forwards towards your front thigh. As your shoulders come inside front thigh, maybe wrists lift away from pelvis. Taking one more breath out here, and your next breath in, knuckles press back, head lifts all the way on up. Releasing fingers, stretch towards the sky. Exhale, open up, find your warrior two pose, right leg bent. Flipping front palm, exhale, reach up and back. Inhale to return. Once more, use your breath out to reverse and return. Bringing your palms together, turning feet out towards the side. Option to come back into your Skandasana pose, back knee bends. Maybe you come a little lower, maybe you stay. And then option to come all the way forwards again, coming all the way forwards into your right leg bending. Start to bring your fingers down towards the earth, turning your toes back towards the front. Planting down through hands, lift your right foot up and away. Bending into your top knee, lift it towards the sky. Option to flip your dog over this time or stay exactly where you are. If you're flipping your dog, top toes come down to the mat, right fingers lift. And coming back to your three-legged dog shape, bring your right foot forwards towards the outside of your right wrist. You could keep your back knee lifted, or you could lower your back knee as you have your toes turned out to that 45 degrees, come to your twisted shape. Maybe coming to the outside blade of your front foot and then stretching your top fingers back behind you. So you pause here, lengthening through here, lengthening through top of head. Then maybe reaching top fingers to sky, all the way over to the inside of your front foot. And then begin to stretch your front foot all the way back, find three-legged dog. Maybe you move forwards into a three-legged plank, or both feet come down, and then lowering to the mat. Move through your flow or come to rest. We meet together in downward facing dog. Taking a moment here, pausing, nourishing your body with breath as heart lifts above head. And bending both knees, looking towards the front of your mat. Start to step or float your feet towards the back of your wrists. Support fingers, inhale, half lift. Exhale and fold. And sweeping fingers out and up, reach towards sky. Palms meet, exhale, hands to heart. Grounding your balance through your left foot now. Start to lift your right knee up, right toes up. Bending into your grounded leg, and then outside of ankle comes to that thigh. Sinking down, back through hips, elbows lowering towards your shin. If you've come all the way to your shin, maybe fingers descend towards the earth. I'm going to start to transition to come all the way back out and up. As hands come back to heart, start to lift. Lower your foot back down, fingers reach up and out. We're going to come straight to the other side, ground through right foot. Inhale, fingers lift. Exhale, hands to heart, and then lifting up through your left foot. Taking it across your knee as you bend into your standing leg. The more you bend into standing leg, the deeper the fold at your hips. Again, you might stay here with hands at heart. If your elbows have come to your shin, maybe your fingers descend towards the earth. If your hands have descended, bring them back to heart. Start to lift all the way up, releasing foot down, reach fingers to sky, and then exhale, hands come down. Coming back to the left side with an in-breath, fingers reach up. Out breath, hands to heart, and then lifting through your right leg. Finding your figure 4 balance as you bend your grounding leg. Maybe keeping chest lifted this time. Hands at heart. You're going to come up out of this shape, lifting your knee in front and then send it all the way back. Find your high lunge. Fingers reach towards sky. And then exhale, opening hands up, interlacing behind, back, lifting through heart space. Exhale, folding forwards. Maybe you pause at 45 degrees and stay there, or maybe you hinge a little deeper towards the inside of front thigh, maybe wrists lift as you hinge. Keep finding length between back heel and top of head with each in-breath. With your next in-breath, stretch fingers back, lift head up, release fingers and reach to sky. As you breathe out, land in your warrior 2 shape, left knee bent towards the front. Flipping front palm over, exhale, reach up and back. Use your in-breath to return. Once more, use your out-breath to reverse. In-breath, return. Hands come together at heart, turning feet out to the side, back into your Skandasana shape, bending into your back knee. Then keeping hips low wherever you've come towards the front of the room, Skandasana, bending into front leg. I'm going to bring both hands to the mat as you turn through your feet, and then transition back into your 3-legged dog shape. Bending your heel towards buttocks might be where you stay, or maybe flipping your dog, left toes to mat, left fingers reach up and away. Next breath out, fingers come to earth and then stretch back out through your left foot. We're going to bring your left knee towards the outside of left elbow. Left foot lands down, maybe lowering your back knee or keeping it lifted this time as you come to your twist. Left hand to thigh, maybe to begin, and then reaching back. You might come to the outside edge of your front foot or keep your foot planted. I'm going to stay here for another couple of breaths, lifting up and back through that top shoulder. Then maybe reach top fingers to sky and then all the way forwards, planting hands down, lifting left foot all the way back up. An option to come to your 3-legged plank and lower towards the mat, or come to a rest position, your choice. Taking hips high and away, come back to your downward facing dog. Fingers pressing into earth, getting a little lighter through your wrists. Taking one more slow, steady breath in and out. And with your next breath out, start to bend your knees down towards the mat, finding a child's pose. Big toes touch, fingers reach out in front. Lengthening out through your arms. Noticing breath through sides of ribs. With your next breath in, forehead lifts up and away from the earth. You're going to lift your hips back up for your downward facing dog. With your next breath in, lift your right foot high and away. We're going to come to your pigeon shape. So start to bring your right knee towards back of right wrist. Your front ankle might come towards your pelvis or out towards your left wrist. So you land, press into fingertips, press into shins. Lifting through chest for a moment. And then as you bring your arms forwards, start to come forwards, relax into those shins and legs, soften towards the mat. You might find a stacking fists on top of each other to rest your forehead supportive, or you might find your block or stacked palms under your head. If you've got your forehead supported, soften and relax the space between your eyebrows. And see if you can unclench your jaw and relax your mouth. Softening shoulders, chest, and belly as much as you can. When we relax our abdomen, it makes it much easier for our buttocks and pelvic muscles to relax. Taking just 2 more breaths in this shape. With your next breath in, start to lift your forehead up and away from the mat, maybe coming onto elbows and then palms of hands. So you lift up, press into those fingers, start to squeeze into your buttocks again, maybe tuck your back toes under and come back to a downward facing dog shape or a tabletop. We're all going to meet in downward facing dog, but you might like to give your hips a little rotation here before coming to the opposite side. As you're next ready to take an in-breath, lifting left heel up and away. Exhale, bring your knee towards the back of your left wrist. Ankle coming either towards pelvis or closer towards your right wrist. For a moment, pressing into fingertips, squeezing legs, lifting through lower belly, top of head. From that engaged position, gently ease yourself forwards, forearms to the mat, maybe forehead lowers to the mat as you relax into your thighs and buttocks and belly. Supporting forehead if you are able to. Softening jaw, letting teeth separate. In this shape, bowing down to yourself, bowing to earth, turning your attention inwards. And time for reflection, just to tune into the rhythm of your breath, easing in and out. As you surrender towards the earth. Taking your last couple of breaths on this side. Lifting forehead up away from hands Maybe coming back onto elbows, bringing palms to the earth and then pressing down into palms to lift chest. Start to squeeze buttocks, lift hips, and you might come back to your downward facing dog shape for a moment, or a tabletop if you prefer. Maybe a little pedal through legs or a sway through hips. And then gently bend your knees back down towards the mat. Take a child's pose just for a couple of breaths. This time arms could relax in any position you prefer. And starting to lift forehead up, walk hands back towards your knees. Once you come to your knees, give your shoulders a little roll up, back and down. We're going to come over into a seat. Knees bending once again so that your heels are underneath your knees or close to there. Hands coming back behind you, setting up for your reverse tabletop. Drawing shoulder blades back towards each other, lifting through heart space, and then hips lift up and away. And we'll hold this time as you lift. Taking one more breath in. As you breathe out, lowering hips back down towards the mat. Option to come to that reverse tabletop again, or maybe stretch your legs out to come to your reverse plank shape. If your legs are stretched out, heels press down into the mat. Heart lifts, lower belly lifts, hips lift. Taking one more breath in as you hold. And then releasing hips back down, breath out. Release hands, stretch them all the way up. Palms meet, exhale, coming back. You're going to reach your fingers out in front, curl through your spine, bring your spine vertebrae by vertebrae back to the mat until your shoulders are hovering. So we're going to bring your shoulders to hover off of your mat. That's it. Fingers reach forwards. As you exhale, slowly lower back of chest down. And then back of head lands. Let your whole body land for a moment. And hugging knees in towards your chest. Give your knees a little circle in one direction and then back the opposite way. Bringing your knees to center in your chest. Take your arms out into a T shape. And then slowly lowering your knees from one side to the other. You might lean a couple of times to one side and then the other before lowering knees all the way over to the right side. As you land your knees down, soften back through your left shoulder. Maybe you keep your eye gaze or nose pointing towards the sky. Maybe you turn your head over towards left hand, left arm. And again, surrendering into the earth for another couple of breaths in your twist here. Starting to draw lower belly in and up as you start to bring your knees back towards the center. You might rock knees gently from side to side, gentle movements, and then slowly bring your knees all the way over to the left side. As you land in your twist, landing through left leg into earth. Rest back through your right shoulder and either keep your nose and chin facing the sky or turn your head towards your right hand. Resting face, body. Taking another couple of breaths here. And then beginning to unravel from your twist. Maybe bring your knees back to chest and find a happy baby. And in the next couple of breaths, make your way down to Shavasana. As you land in your final rest shape, soften through feet and backs of heels. Soften through lower legs and backs of knees. Relaxing both thighs, back of pelvis and buttocks rest into earth. Softening belly, sides of waist, rib cage, and the space deep within your chest. Softening collarbones, tops of shoulders. Relaxing upper arms and elbows. Forearms, wrists, and fingers. Allow the whole of your neck to relax, front, sides, and back. Back of head softens, forehead softens. Relaxing the space between your eyebrows, letting all of the muscles of your face relax as your jaw gently separates. Your whole body resting with ease. Bringing your attention back to your breath. If you're practicing at home and would like to stay a little longer, you're welcome to. Otherwise, bringing movement to your fingers, toes, letting that movement spread through your body. Begin to bend your knees and then roll to your preferred side. From your preferred side, come all the way up into a seat that's comfortable for you. Once you arrive in your seat, bring your palms together in front of your heart. Maybe bringing back to your awareness, your heart space, the intention you set yourself at the beginning of practice. Maybe that's something you can carry with you off of your mat and into your day. Gently raising thumbs to third eye space between eyebrows, back to lips and throat, back to heart. Connecting your thoughts, words, and feelings back to that intention, the energy in your heart. Namaste. Thank you, everybody.